YouTube, what's good? Senju, back at it again with another video. And for today's video, we are going over probably my new favorite weapon in Warzone, and honestly, the one weapon that I think is actually going to be the king of all ARs inside of Warzone. Of course, we're going to have SMG kings, sniper kings, tactical rifle kings, marksman rifle kings, and so forth and so on. But when it comes to the assault rifles, I have one pick, and that is the Vulture EXO. Let's get into it. So, when we're talking about the Vulture EXO, otherwise known as the FARA 83, a lot of you are probably going to be sitting there going, yo, why in the world is he talking about this gun? The fire rate is way too fast for it to be used at long range. And to that I say, if this were pre-patch, you probably would have been correct. However, post-patch, in case you don't know that this weapon got patched, I'm gonna let you know right now. The weapon got patched, and not in a bad way, in a good way. When this weapon got buffed, they smoothed out the recoil pattern, and that's in their own words. Now, they didn't tell us to the severity of the smoothing that they did when it came to the weapon's recoil pattern. However, you kinda got a general idea that whenever Raven Studios decides to rework a weapon, they typically overdo it or they underdo it. And they definitely overdid it, but not to the point where the weapon is overpowered. Well, you know, and that's a lie. The weapon is definitely overpowered when used correctly. So, today we're going to take a look at this build, and I'll explain exactly why we're running this weapon. So, we have the Grew Suppressor for that extra range, the extra effective damage range. Now, for a lot of you, I know the Cold War weapons are still fresh inside of Warzone. It wasn't too long ago that we didn't have Cold War weapons. So over the course of this season of Warzone, when I go over weapons, I'll explain why I'm running certain attachments, because unlike Modern Warfare's weapons, these attachments do actually affect hidden stats on the Cold War weapons, and since true game data doesn't have all of it yet, and I can't blame them, it's a lot of changes to go over, as well as they're still getting buffed and reworked. I can only explain so much that I have to my knowledge. So with the Grew Suppressor, we have the effective damage range. Now, based off of what a monolithic suppressor gives you, which is 7.5% additional range, I'm assuming this is about 7.5%, because I doubt that they would take the 30% buff that you, well, the 15% range buff to 25% range buff that you could receive in Cold War and apply that to a suppressor inside of Warzone, because that is a giant range boost. And considering that in Cold War this weapon already sits at a maximum 63 meters without a suppressor, I would assume that they would copy and paste that over to Warzone, which means that this weapon really doesn't need any enhancements to range. But hey, it's better to have it than to not have it. So we are also running the 18.18 inch takedown barrel. Now, what I was doing yesterday is testing the Liberator. However, in Cold War, this weapon has the fastest bullet velocity out of all the ARs, and it's clocking in at a whopping 600 and something meters per second. So I assumed that they already just copy and pasted that over to this and probably reworked it a little bit to bring it in line, so it's probably dropped down to about 400 to 500, which means that you really don't need to buff the bullet velocity. You typically want bullet velocity on snipers to really reduce the amount of bullet drop that you have, but considering the fact that this is an AR and I'm not using it at sniper range, you don't really need the bullet velocity. 400 to 600 meters per second on your bullet velocity is just fine, because that means every single time you shoot a bullet, it's going to be able to go up to 400 to 600 meters without having significant drop, which means you don't have to lead as much, which means anybody 30 meters in front of you, you're fine. You don't really need to change it. So I opted for effective range, even though I just said that it has a lot of range. Like I said, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So we're going with the .1 takedown barrel here. Now for the foregrip, this is actually pretty tricky because yesterday, as I stated in the video, the Cold War weapons have the ability to manipulate your shooting strafe speed, which is known as your ADS firing movement, and it's pretty similar to your firing movement, but the key difference here is that your ADS firing movement speed is your strafe speed while currently, aim down sights and shooting. Your firing movement speed only applies to hip fire while moving. So if you hip fire and you're moving and you have a firing movement speed buff, then you're only going to get that movement speed buff when firing from the hip. If you have ADS firing movement speed, then when you aim down sights and you start strafing, you start zooming. So this weapon already has a pretty decent amount of strafe speed when you ADS and you fire, so I decided to just go with the foregrip because I wanted the most horizontal recoil, considering the fact that this weapon's main issue when it comes to recoil is its side to side bounce. So we pretty much negated that, as well as the buff recently fixing the recoil pattern. You'll see in the video, the thing is an absolute laser, and with the movement speed that you have with your strafe speed, sometimes you can over strafe and miss a couple of shots, but it's easier to correct because you have that kind of movement speed, which is yet again why I think Cold War weapons in general are going to get nerfed in the strafe speed department, because it makes it so forgiving if you miss shots. And when you're going up against somebody who's wearing a kilo and he got his boots taped to the ground, you really have a significant advantage over that person. Now, just as any other day, we're going with the Spetsnaz 50 round. I would do the 50 round fast mag, but I believe the ADS sight time reduction is about 20%. And since we don't have an SMG or a Psychoff pistol or anything as a backup, I don't want to hurt my ADS any more than I have to. And since I already have 50 rounds and the reload speed isn't terrible, I'm perfectly okay with hits with that. Now we are running the Raider stock, and like I said, this is for the ADS firing move speed, the firing movement speed, and the aim walking movement speed. So this basically just gives me all the strafe speed that I need. Now you can go with the KGB skeletal, but that gives you sprint to fire and ADS firing move speed, and the hip fire penalty in Cold War is about 30% compared to this one's 15%. And if for some reason I need to hip fire, I'd rather have more hip fire accuracy since I'm not running something like a Psychov or an SMG. Now, to pair it up, just like yesterday, we're running the Kar 98 with the mono suppressor, the Singard custom 27.6 inch barrel, the tac laser for that ADS speed, the sniper scope, and the FTAC sport cone. We have double time, overkill, and amp for our perks, a throwing knife for the lethal just to finish off downed people, and a heartbeat sensor for the tactical. You guys will not believe the ending to this gameplay, and it's definitely one of those heart wrenchers. I did not see that coming, and I definitely enjoyed this game. So hopefully you guys enjoy the game, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the next video. Take care.
Strength. Ain't nobody man enough to feel the pain, and you could be next. You better give respect. This ain't nobody breaking this redneck.
I'm on board. Let's go. So I'm going to the gas station.
Your primary objective.
Yo, did you mark body on midair? I just need to know if he really did that. I was about to say, my man's is over here filling that body armor. Alright. I swear that may be my biggest downfall when it comes to Warzone. I get so caught up in looking at the floor trying to find good, decent loot that, I'll run through doors and run right into somebody and just not even realize it. Go ahead and grab me real quick. Alright. Get on over there.
I'll take the wheel.
go.
We need recon here.
Go ahead and pop this, grab a bounty. We got a team down here at this buy.
Vendor marked.
Shoot this man. Bro, this dude. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I missed that, man. Are you serious? Okay, let me get up, man. I mean, I didn't think he was gonna move. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take my time and hit this shot. Next time, I'm gonna just do what I came here to do. That was so dumb. I shouldn't have missed that. Let me get up this hill.
Bounty target is down.
I'll take that. That works too. What really pisses me off about this game though is the fact that they are handing out free self-res. It's like, what the heck is the purpose of doing that, man? Oh, dear. That? Okay. Land your shot, Singe. Alright.
I'll drop.
Windows
There's
closing.
work
Get
to
to
do.
safety. Hunting you. Stay
Get him
alert.
up out of here.
I'm under fire.
I know he's still down there. Come on, buddy.
That's a kill.
Got him, I think. Nice.
Fire sale is out. Buy station costs are adjusted. Contract time
Out of
expired.
my way.
Lost the
I'll
target.
We could run from here. No point in drawing any unnecessary attention.
Friendly.
Oh, there's never a window here. What am I doing here? He just quit
Enemy
the
UAV
game.
overhead.
But you see what I'm saying? Oh, you
Objective
gotta.
is to eliminate the
Ooh, love to
bounty
see it.
target.
Hold on. What's going on over there? Okay. I'm scanning the area.
We
Not
need
seeing
recon
anything,
here.
but I do see a whip.
UAV entering.
I don't think I'll need to though.
Contract time expired. Lost the target.
I'm under fire.
What a little bitch, bro.
Yeah, y'all are the ones over here camping out. Okay, buddy. I got no place. I need to hurry and reload. It's getting ugly real fast. I got nothing on the radar. We do need to get the higher angle here. The high ground. Who is he shooting at? I don't see him. I just know he's over here somewhere. He wasn't the only one.
I'm under fire.
Camping the house, bro. You serious right now? Nice shot, teammate. Let's go, dude.
I downed him.
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Move that.
I don't have any freaking plates for backup.
Eyes on shooter.
Enemy precision airstrike.
Troops in
Take
contact.
cover.
I'm gonna go back just to get all the ammo and stuff that this guy had. Oh no, buddy, what are you doing? Brother.
10 remaining. Keep it up. Gas is inbound.
He's a damn dollar.
You're the last one on your team. Finish
There's
the
no helping
job.
that dude. Not at all. But it is good if I hold out here. On the outside. Because then I can hold that guy. There's also a team up there. Okay. So I need to know. I'm gonna have to go here. Back up and get a better angle on both the locations that I can see. I got people fighting everywhere. And technically, I kind of got the best spot. All the cover within the woods. Not the airstrike, dude. Are you serious? It took forever for that to come in, man.
Stay sharp.
He's still driving. I need to move.
Gas is inbound.
I'm kind of safe right now.
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Not safe from the car, though.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
Got him. See him in the car.
Gas is inbound.
Let me up the rock, dude. Fuck, man. No way, dude. He had a gas mask. Are you serious?
Win next time.
Wow, he had a gas mask, man.
Finish the job.
Bro, he got lucky, man. He got really lucky. He had a gas mask.
Hey, GG's, bro, you're fucking cracked.
Thanks, man. That gas mask saved you. I didn't know you had one.
Yeah, it don't get better than that. Good game, fellas.
Like, that was fucking GG.
GG, man.
GG.